Nestled quietly in the Seto Inland Sea of Japan lies Okunoshima, a small island that today attracts visitors for an unusually charming reason. Its large population of wild rabbits, known for their surprising approachability and gentle demeanor. This island, roughly 4 square kilometers in size, is now a peaceful retreat where these furry creatures roam freely, often hopping right up to humans, seemingly unafraid. Visitors come to enjoy the tranquil beauty of Okunoshima's natural environment, where forests meet the sea and the pace of life feels slow and calm. The island's gentle hills, covered in greenery, stretch down to pebble-strewn beaches lapped by clear, still waters, creating a picturesque scene that seems worlds away from the bustling cities of mainland Japan. Walking along the island's quiet paths, it is easy to forget that Okunoshima was anything but peaceful not so long ago. In fact, beneath this serene surface lies a more complex and somber history, one hidden in the shadows of time. For all its present-day charm, Okunoshima was once a site shrouded in secrecy and danger, playing a remarkable role during a darker chapter of the 20th century. Far from being just a quiet tourist destination, this island was once home to a secret poison gas production facility operated during a time when the world was engulfed in conflict. Though the rabbits have long since disappeared from the records of wartime, and nature has reclaimed much of the landscape, the scars of history remain beneath the surface. Visitors arriving today might be startled to learn that beneath the greenery and underfoot lie remnants of old buildings and tunnels once used for hazardous chemical manufacturing. During the era of World War II, Okunoshima served as a hidden weapon manufacturing site where toxic gases were produced under strict secrecy, away from prying eyes. The island's remote location and isolation made it an ideal spot for such covert activities, allowing operations to proceed undisturbed. Only after years had passed did the full extent of its role come to light, as the broader history of Japan's wartime chemical weapons programs became a subject of study and reflection. Yet, despite this troubling past, the island has since transformed. The once closed-off facilities fell into disrepair, and nature steadily reclaimed its territory. Meanwhile, the rabbits, introduced decades ago, flourished. Today, they symbolize the island's resilience and unexpected rebirth, captivating visitors with their friendly nature and lively presence. The striking contrast between Okunoshima's dark past and its gentle present creates an intriguing story, an island where peaceful wildlife coexist with remnants of a secretive and dangerous history. As we explore Okunoshima further, the island reveals itself as a place of contradictions, natural beauty intertwined with hidden shadows, and a living testament to the complex layers of history left behind. In the calm silence of the forests and the soft footsteps of countless rabbits, the invisible echoes of a wartime secret facility hint at stories waiting to be uncovered. This is Okunoshima, the island of rabbits, whose quiet charm masks a significant and startling past. During World War II, Okunoshima was transformed from a quiet, unassuming island into a top-secret production site for poison gas, playing a hidden but significant role in Japan's military strategy. The Imperial Japanese Army established a chemical weapons plant here, taking advantage of the island's remote location and natural isolation. Far from the mainland and enclosed within the waters of the Seto Inland Sea, the island provided an ideal setting for operations that demanded the utmost secrecy. From the late 1920s through the war years, Okunoshima's landscape was marked by an extensive network of buildings, factories, and storage facilities constructed specifically for manufacturing chemical weapons. The island's production centered primarily on 3 types of poison gases: mustard gas, commonly known as sulfur mustard; lewisite, an arsenic-based blister agent; and phosgene, a choking agent used in chemical warfare. These substances were intended for use in potential battlefield deployment, though Japan's official policy at the time forbade the at-home use of chemical weapons. Despite this, Japan stockpiled these weapons and incorporated chemical agents in some combat situations, often with devastating effects. The secrecy surrounding the island's purpose was so tight that Okunoshima was deliberately omitted from official maps, both domestic and international. Documents and maps produced during this period often erased or obscured the island's location, effectively rendering it invisible. Access to the island was strictly controlled. Military personnel, workers, and supplies were transported under guard, and visitors were forbidden. A network of guards and fences patrolled the perimeter, ensuring no unauthorized individuals came too close. The island's entire operation was shrouded in secrecy. Not only was the island itself kept hidden, but workers at the facility were sworn to silence regarding the nature of their work. Even their families often knew nothing of the island's true purpose. The chemical plants employed specialized equipment for the large-scale synthesis and handling of highly toxic substances, requiring complex precautions to manage the risks involved. Underground tunnels and bunkers were constructed to protect materials and personnel from possible air raids and to conceal the production lines. The island's infrastructure included filtering systems, storage bunkers designed to withstand explosions, and disposal facilities intended to manage chemical waste safely, though these systems often fell short of modern environmental standards. The effort to maintain secrecy extended beyond physical security. Communications were tightly monitored, and no photographs of the plant were permitted, as any intelligence leakage could have compromised military advantage. After the war, when Japan's defeat was imminent, the military attempted to destroy evidence of its chemical weapons program on Okunoshima. Facilities were dismantled or demolished, and records were destroyed to hide the extent of these chemical operations. Yet, the remnants of these activities remained embedded in the island's soil and infrastructure. This covert chapter of Okunoshima's history remained hidden for decades, overshadowed by the island's later reputation as the Rabbit Island. It was only through post-war investigations and declassified military records that the full story of the island's secret role in chemical weapon production emerged. Following the end of World War II, Okunoshima's secret chemical weapons facility was swiftly abandoned. The Japanese military, facing defeat and occupation, took measures to dismantle the infrastructure and destroy sensitive documents in a hurried attempt to conceal the island's purpose. Despite these efforts, the physical remnants of the plant could not be completely erased. Over time, dilapidated buildings, rusting machinery, and underground tunnels fell into disrepair, gradually consumed by the island's natural environment. As decades passed, the island's somber wartime role faded from public awareness, overshadowed by a far gentler narrative: the proliferation of rabbits. These were not native inhabitants, but were introduced to the island in the post-war years, originally released as part of a breeding and research program, or simply brought in by visitors who left them behind. The rabbits found an ideal habitat in Okunoshima's mild climate and abundant vegetation, flourishing without natural predators. Their population grew quickly, turning the island into an unexpected sanctuary of wildlife. Today, the rabbits are a beloved symbol of Okunoshima, attracting tourists eager to feed and interact with them. However, this popular image presents challenges when it comes to acknowledging the island's darker history. The cheerful crowds and playful animals can overshadow the memory of the island's involvement in chemical warfare, making it difficult to fully confront and memorialize the past. Efforts have been made to preserve and present this complex legacy. The Poison Gas Museum, established near the ferry terminal, offers visitors a candid look at the island's wartime function through exhibitions of artifacts, photographs, and educational materials. It serves as a sobering reminder of the human suffering connected to chemical weapons and the dangers they represent. Yet, despite these efforts, some local debates persist about how best to balance the island's conflicting identities as a site of historical trauma and a popular tourist destination known for its rabbits. For some, the emphasis on the rabbit's charm risks trivializing the severity and secrecy of the wartime operations. Others argue that the peaceful coexistence of wildlife and relics of the past can inspire reflections on resilience, transformation, and the possibilities for renewal after destruction. The environmental cleanup on Okunoshima has also been an ongoing concern. Contamination from chemical residues left by the manufacturing processes took years to address. Studies and remediation efforts have sought to reduce the impact of hazardous materials on the island's soil and ecosystem, allowing it to return safely to a more natural state. This process reflects the broader theme of Okunoshima's post-war story, a landscape recovering from the scars of conflict and slowly healing through time and care. Ultimately, Okunoshima stands today as a place of layered meaning. It is at once a vibrant habitat for thousands of free-roaming rabbits and a silent witness to a secret history once cloaked in shadow. Its legacy is complex, illustrating how nature and memory intertwine in unexpected ways. Visitors to the island encounter more than just playful animals. They encounter echoes of a hidden past and the challenge of remembering, honoring, and learning from history.